Next is in Gunnison tonight, where the Bad News Bridge has more of it. Newly discovered cracks. No timeline for a repair for that vital highway cutting off a community, sending kids to school on boats.
We heard that the bridge was out, and we were like, oh, how are we supposed to get to town?
Democrats at the state capitol trying to push through tax changes at the last minute again. The question, as always, where's the money coming from? Their brains all work differently, and that's the beauty of it. Their show tonight, and the documentary they've made about their work to unify a school. And there are volunteers across Colorado helping children who have been abused navigate the court system and succeed in life. Tonight, we're going to step up to help them, because you don't just watch, because this is next. More cracks have been found in a bridge over Colorado's largest reservoir. That means that the state is no closer to reopening the route that connects the only highway between central Colorado and the western slope. At least 4 cracks have been discovered in the Highway 50 bridge over Blue Mesa Reservoir near Gunnison. It's been shut down since the first crack was spotted last Thursday. CDOT's not sure how deep the cracks go and if there are more.
That's kind of the situation we're up against. Is not all of these defects on this type of bridge, the T1 steel, is visual defects. These are embedded within the welds of the steel.
CDOT does not know the extent of the problem, so no clue on how long a repair might take. Until then, non-local traffic between Gunnison and Montrose is detoured 6 to 7 hours. Colorado's declared a state of emergency to free up state and federal funds, and the first 10 mills have been set aside for repairs. They have not yet even started inspections on a second bridge made with the same problematic steel that's 2 miles down the highway. Our Mark Salinger is in Gunnison for us tonight, where life is interrupted in all kinds of ways. Often you got people's homes on one side, work on the other, kids in town taking boats to school.
How you doing, boys? You good?
When something happens at school,
What's up, Hector? Hi. How are you?
everyone seems to want to know more.
Thursday, when the bridge closed, we had choir and band in Grand Junction.
At Gunnison High School, Principal Jim Wojtek
Okay.
can't stop answering questions about the bridge over Blue Mesa Reservoir.
Their world was just rocked, just like that.
The bridge broke. It's crazy.
That bridge is the only way to and from school for Hayden Fresquez.
You know, when I woke up on Thursday, I was like, all right, just another normal day. I told myself that, actually. I told myself that. I was like, man, this is just another normal day. I'm just going to go to school. And then that happened, and I was like, did I jinx myself? Like, what the heck?
Cracks in the bridge closed US 50 outside Gunnison for the foreseeable future. The detour around takes 6 hours. Now everyone is talking about Hayden's commute to school.
Oh, yeah, I get asked about it. I've been getting asked about it the last 3 days. I mean, oh my gosh, how'd you get to school? Did you ride the boat today? Like, what's going on?
Boats drop him and a handful of classmates who live across the lake at the marina on Monday, and then pick him up again at the end of the week.
It was weird. I was like, I'm taking a boat to school. And it was so early. The sun was just coming up. And I was just like, what's happening? Like, it was weird. It's not something I'm used to.
I wear a snowsuit and bring a blanket and lay down because it's freezing.
Tegan Gallegos is taking classes to be a hairstylist.
It's definitely a challenge sometimes.
Challenging, sure. But she had to figure out how to make it to one of the most important nights of the year without a road.
To prom from a boat.
How to get to prom wasn't the only question.
We're talking about, do we put kids up in hotels? Do we feed them pizza? What do we do?
It's been too difficult to commute back and forth every day. So families have opened up their homes to the students who can't live at their own houses.
Just the generosity is phenomenal.
So I've been staying with my friend's parents and him for the last 2 days.
A broken bridge that also brought a school together.
I feel so appreciated and cared for, because they're letting me stay at their house while we're going through these crazy things.
The boat rides aren't easy. The elementary school students, the younger kids who took the boat in the first day, said it was too much for them. They're doing remote learning for the rest of the year, while the high schoolers try and figure out the best way to get to class. For Next in Gunnison, I'm Mark Salinger.
So CDOT has opened up a rough mountain road with a guide car every 12 hours to get around the broken bridge. This thing is iffy enough that workers have to go out and add gravel to shore up the road after every couple passes. So it is not going to be a long-term solution or handle a lot of traffic. We have heard from so many of you about this. Let's keep that conversation going. Are you from that part of Colorado or know people there? What about this situation do you think Coloradans should know? And for anybody, what are your questions about the situation with the bridge near Gunnison? Or do you have ideas? Email us next at 9news.com. A court has given the go-ahead for a conservative ballot measure targeting LGBTQ students to collect signatures. It would essentially require schools to out kids to their parents if the school thinks the kid is questioning their gender identity. Conservative groups nationwide have been leaning into gender as a key culture war issue in November. If this measure gets on the ballot and is approved by voters, schools in Colorado would have a 48-hour timer to alert a parent if a child is, quote, experiencing gender incongruence or identifying as a gender other than what was assigned at birth. The conservative parents' rights organization behind the measure says schools are hiding information from families. LGBTQ advocates say this is not what schools are supposed to be doing.
It also puts the work on schools, teachers and administrators who are over their head with the job we have given them to do, to be the monitoring, to be the gender police. That's wrong too. Our schools need support. They don't need additional work that is created by a vocal minority.
All the parents I know are great parents. They want to help their child, and we know that children need to have their parents' support and guidance through any difficult decision in their life.
The group backing the measure now has until August to collect about 125,000 signatures to get it on the ballot. Nothing to see here is essentially what the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office told the public right after their deputy shot and killed a young man 2 years ago. Body camera video told a very different story. Prosecutors eventually decided it was murder. And now, tonight, a jury is deliberating whether to punish former Deputy Andrew Buin for the killing of Christian Glass. Our Steve Steger is there.
So much has changed here in Clear Creek County since the night Christian Glass was shot and killed. His parents won the largest police misconduct settlement in state history. The county now has a mental health response team to respond to calls like the one Christian made that night. And today, the final chapter in the fallout from the Christian Glass saga played out in Clear Creek County Court. A jury is now deciding whether Andrew Buin committed second-degree murder when he shot and killed Glass. This morning, prosecutors argued he acted unreasonably when he turned down Christian's offer to throw knives that he had in the car out the window. And he created his own peril when he chose to break into Christian's SUV to get him out and then shot him with beanbags, tased him, before finally shooting and killing him after Christian reached toward another officer outside his car.
Everyone was yelling at him and screaming at him because he picked up the knife. He picked up the same knife that Mr. Buin told him to keep. He picked up that knife because now people were literally coming into the only safe space he had that night, his car.
Buin's attorney argued the shooting was justified because of the threat to his fellow officer. And she argued that Buin had reasonable grounds to get Christian out of his car because of a suspicion that he may have been high.
The DA's office is apparently sitting here and saying that anyone who gets pulled over for a DUI in the future, or I mean really any crime at this stage, can just sit in their car, roll the windows up, not communicate, and just keep cops there forever.
A jury of 10 women and 2 men will now deliberate this. They've had just about a half a day to do so. They'll continue doing it tomorrow. We'll be here in Clear Creek County for that. In Georgetown, for Next, I'm Steve Steger.
A far-right blog that spread the conspiracy theory that Denver-based Dominion voting systems rigged the 2020 election is now filing for bankruptcy. The Gateway Pundit blames quote-unquote liberal lawfare attacks. Gateway Pundit says it will use bankruptcy to consolidate litigation and will reorganize to continue its work. The site faces several lawsuits for election rigging lies, including a lawsuit from a former Dominion employee, a Coloradan who faced death threats after fringe conspiracy theorists blamed him personally for Donald Trump's election loss. You don't have to be a parent or a teacher to change a kid's life for the better. CASA volunteers do it every day in Colorado. The court-appointed special advocates. They walk along kids in the court system who have been through abuse or neglect, relationships that sometimes last years. One reliable adult who can change the trajectory of a child's life from tragedy to success. CASA only has enough volunteers for about a third of the kids who need them. This week's Word of Thanks microgiving campaign supports Colorado's CASA volunteers in 46 counties. Our donations are going to go out to meet needs across the state. So in Jefferson County, it's a housing program for kids who are aging out of foster care. In northern Colorado, we're told that they need help recruiting male volunteers and Spanish-speaking volunteers. Arapahoe County CASA could use support for its Safe Baby Courts, a program that helps mothers with substance abuse issues. Volunteers on the western slope need help with expenses. Often, they're driving hours one way to see their kids or to go to their court appointments. And in the San Luis Valley, they are just now creating a CASA program to help kids in their community. The nonprofit CASA Colorado will distribute whatever we raise to every corner of the state without keeping any of it in fees. That way, we can help kids and their CASA volunteers all over Colorado without accidentally overwhelming any one local chapter with all of your amazing generosity. I gotta be honest with you, this is tough volunteering work. The things that these kids have been through, the things that their adult volunteers help them through, it's not for everyone. And volunteers, understandably, are not always up to make one multi-year commitment after another. But there are people willing to do this life-changing work for kids who have been abused or neglected. And we have the opportunity to help them. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word THANKS to 303-871-1491 to get that link to donate. You know even $5 helps, and as always, I'll match the first 50 donations of $5 to get us started. Almost 2,500 of you have signed up to simplify your giving with a monthly donation to the Word of Thanks Fund. That means that we will start this micro-giving campaign with almost $20,000 in donations. That is incredible. You can use the same QR code or text to get there.
We need to pay for schools and pay for local services, but how could we do that in a way that is going to be providing relief?
Democrats want to offer property tax relief without draining school funding. Money's got to come from somewhere, and now we know where. And a unique theater program makes sure that students of all abilities have a moment in the spotlight. That's next. Colorado Democrats have again waited until the end of the legislative session to roll out a massive proposed change to property taxes in Colorado. This year, it comes as some conservative groups are trying to put deeper tax cuts on the ballot in November. Bill set to be introduced next week would make sweeping changes to the state's property tax system. At the simplest level, homeowners could exempt 10% of their home value from taxes. The bill would also decrease the assessment rate for commercial properties over several years. The bill does not put a hard cap on state tax revenue collection, and it does not permanently lower the tax assessment rate. Those are two ideas that conservative groups want to put up for a vote by everybody in November. This bill's sponsor, Democratic Senator Chris Hansen of Denver, argues that doing those things would negatively impact schools and local governments.
If we're going to do property tax relief, and we certainly believe we should continue to do that, we need to do it in a way that doesn't hurt school finance and local districts and firefighters, et cetera. So that's really the big difference between what we're doing and what they're doing.
Hansen's bill would require that the state backfill lost revenue, make it good for schools and certain services like fire districts. Hansen pointed to a couple of potential funding sources here, like the state's education fund, which we've also talked about how that could be tapped to revamp the school finance formula. And, surprise, surprise, they could dip into Tabor refunds, meaning that people would get smaller refund checks.
Hi there, I'm meteorologist Kathy Sabin, and Denver weather today, beautiful, sunshine and 70s. In the high country, we're going to see a round of snow at the end of the week. So yeah, maybe it's not completely spring just yet. We have a mild, dry evening. We've got a chance for storms in Denver tomorrow, and then Cooler weather with a good chance for rain, maybe heavy, Friday into Saturday. Temperatures today 10 to 15 degrees above average and still very mild this 6 o'clock hour. We're watching the winds out of the south. Not a big part of our forecast tonight, but tomorrow the red flag warning out for the San Luis Valley will be extended into southeastern Colorado. High fire danger as the winds pick up. We're kind of in between two storm systems, and that's going to make the rest of the week a little bit unsettled. Showers tonight are kind of moving from west to east through Cheyenne into North Platte. Nothing severe, but a few sprinkles, a rumble of thunder as they move quickly along the Colorado-Wyoming border. Tomorrow is when we'll see the chance for some severe storms in the Central Plains and northeastern Colorado around Akron and Sterling. Could see some damaging winds and hail. We have fair skies tonight. A sunny day tomorrow with a few storms early that could produce some rain here and some stronger storms from Fort Morgan out to Sterling later tomorrow night between about 7 and 10. Temperatures this evening are comfortable. We start that cool weather trend on Friday. Good rain to kick off your weekend. I mean, it could be heavy rain before the storm moves out Sunday. We're back to sunshine and 70s on Monday and Tuesday.
There's no reason not to have a unified theater class if you have a theater program.
Love it. A stage where everyone can shine. We'll take you behind the scenes of a program bringing students of all abilities together. Next. Right now, a special production of The Jungle Book is hitting the stage at Lakewood High School. It's part of their unified theater program, which makes sure that every student has a role.
All right, ready? We're going for it, guys. All right, ready? Monkey see, monkey do. Hi, my name is Tori Lynn Wiener. I'm a senior at Lakewood High School, and I'm a part of Unified Theater in the program. The Unified program itself at Lakewood is just a program for neurodivergent students with varying abilities and disabilities. But Unified Theater is an extra, it's kind of an and onto that.
And we're doing The Jungle Book play? Call this a play. I'm playing Car, the rock python.
What's your favorite part, Atticus? Oh, is it the costume? Yes. Yeah.
So neurotypical coaches work with neurodivergent students, and we, it's just a really cool community.
I'm kind of here to, in a way, kind of teach, but also just be his friend.
This is my favorite class, probably, maybe of all of school.
Why?
Why? I like the people here. There's just something about this group that I like more than any other.
I just feel like I'll always remember this. It gives me a different view of how we're all really similar.
I like the energy, and I also like this class is never boring. It's like entertainment.
Has it been fun for you, Atticus?
Nice.
Nice.
I just hope that the community continues to grow and the people involved know that they're doing something really special. There's no reason not to have a unified theater class if you have a theater program.
That's just the absolute best. We are back with your feedback about bridges. Everybody has the same idea. Next. Colorado has a dedicated group of volunteers who step up for children who have been abused or neglected. CASA's volunteers spend years helping those kids navigate the court system. And this week's Word of Thanks microgiving campaign supports their work in all 46 counties where they're helping kids. Their statewide nonprofit will distribute the funds we raise to help with their most pressing needs in every corner of the state, like a program that helps kids graduate in southern Colorado, or one that helps children emerge from the foster care system in Jeffco. Text thanks to 303-871-1491 to get the link to donate or scan that QR code on your screen. All the feedback tonight from people wondering if the Army Corps of Engineers might come into Blue Mesa Reservoir to build a pontoon bridge. Some version of that idea or question sent in tonight from Bob, BJ, Susie, Cheryl, Dave, Philip, Ken, Judy, Bill, Joe, Lori, Brock, Tina, Kathy, another Bob, Vincent, Dawn, Tracy, Jeff, Michael, Mary, Paula, and Thomas. So folks, we asked CDOT about that today. They said that that is on their radar, but it's premature to look at that option until they know that a quicker fix might not work. Great minds think alike.